Hello, everyone, and welcome to Momentum Mondays. On these weekly series, every Monday, we invite one inspiring young man or woman to our show and talk to them about important topics, including investing, financial planning, and financial education. Many of our guests include fellow YouTubers and investors who I've followed on YouTube and enjoyed their contents. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Well, hey, Brian, and welcome to the show. Please go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience here on Momentum channel.
What's going on, guys? Firstly, I just want to thank Mo for having me on his channel. A little bit about me: my name is Brian, I am 27 and I live in Cork, Ireland, and I currently work in the financial sector. So, the name of my channel is Brian Bullman Investing, and as the name suggests, I discuss all things finance and investing related. In particular, I discuss my stock portfolio and we go through my buys and sells and my own stock investing journey.
I gotta say, I've been following your channel, Brian Bullman Investing, on YouTube and really enjoy it. And in fact, I've noticed how you've picked up adding more videos and posting videos more frequently. Tell us a little bit more about your channel, when you started it, and what inspired you to start the channel in the first place.
So, like most people, in the last year or so, I had a lot more time in my hands due to lockdowns. So, I think it was about a year ago at this stage when I actually started this channel. However, I didn't actually start to upload until that summer. I think it was June or July. So, from there, I started to post videos every few days, and over the last few months, I started to post daily. So, that was when I started, but in terms of why, I suppose I just wanted to kind of have somewhere to keep account of how I was actually performing and somewhere I could be held accountable for how I was doing and performing within my overall portfolio. And I suppose the main reason was because I've always had an interest in investing related videos, and so I thought it was time to take the plunge and actually create my own channel as well. And it's a great community and everyone is extremely supportive, so that's probably one of the main reasons why I started.
That's fantastic. Brian, in one of your videos, you talk about how you and your fiance are now saving and investing for buying a house as well as for your upcoming wedding. Well, congratulations for that. And tell us a little bit more about that and what approaches are you taking in preparing for those two key milestones?
Yeah, that's actually quite a good question, Mo. I always kind of, we both always knew, should I say, that we were going to get a house and get married down the line. So I got engaged at the end of last year. So since then, there has been a lot more emphasis on saving towards a house and wedding. However, there is a lot less opportunities to actually spend money foolishly. So thankfully, because we're still living at home at the moment, we still have a lot of excess capital at the end of each month, which we can put away towards a house and a mortgage, and also towards the wedding itself. So each month, once we get paid, we put away a set amount into our house and mortgage slash wedding funds. But I feel that one of the main reasons why I actually started my own investing portfolio as well is actually because it keeps me saving. So even though it's investing, it technically is saving as well. So at the moment, we have about €8,200 or so invested in the market, which equates to about $10,000. So I feel that if I actually didn't start this investing portfolio, I would have probably spent that money foolishly over the last 12 months. So in terms of how it impacted my approach towards, let's say, investing in general or saving, it hasn't really changed a whole lot. So like again, we always knew we'd need to put away excess amount of money each month towards a house and a wedding. So if anything, it probably is a little less money each month to put towards investing. However, that's a given, and obviously life does take its kind of place in terms of having to set aside money for major parts of life's goals. So for that reason, in terms of saving or investing, I probably do invest a little bit less, mainly due to the fact that we're trying to put as much money as possible towards the house before we actually get the mortgage.
Tell us a little bit more, Brian, about your goals for your stock investment portfolio. I believe in one of your videos you talked about how by the end of this year you were aiming to get to 15,000, but I believe you have a larger amount as a goal for your stock investment portfolio. Tell us a little bit more about that, and perhaps also touch on what balance between dividend stock versus growth stock versus value stocks do you follow and pursue when it comes to your investment portfolio.
Yeah, that's correct, Mo, that my overall goal or objective within this channel is to get $100,000 invested into the market. Now we can see on screen here that we're currently €8,278, which equates to about 10,000 USD. So at the moment we're about 10% of the way to our overall goal. So as I've stated in a prior video, my main overall goal was to have €15,000 invested by the end of 2021. So we're over halfway there at the moment. So again, when I was originally looking at how much I wanted at the start of the year, I was probably aiming for about 25,000. So because we're now actually getting a house and we have the wedding next year as well. So I obviously had to restructure and recalculate my goals for my investing. But 15,000 is still a realistic enough target, and I hope to beat that by the end of the year. In terms of my dividends or value stocks, at the start of investing, I didn't really look into that as much. What I thought was more important was that I actually bought stocks in terms of each sector. So we can even see on the left that I usually talk about each of my sector pies on Trading 212. So I kind of have a cap of 5 stocks per sector, and we have a few stocks up to 5 within each of these at the moment. So in terms of value versus dividend stocks, I have a mixture of both throughout my portfolio. At the moment, we have 31 stocks overall. So as you can imagine, the bigger my overall capital gets, when we get to about 50 or 60,000 or even more. So once it kind of gets higher, I will probably be focusing more on safer kind of style investments such as the S&P 500, etc. At the moment, we have about 10% of our overall capital here. So that's only about €800 or so in ETFs. But again, as my capital starts to grow, I might push that up to about 15 to 20%. So I can see the pros and cons for holding both dividends and kind of value or growth stocks. So in my opinion, it's always imperative to have both, as you get the best of both worlds. Having such good dividend stocks such as Coca-Cola, for example, really do pay off and compound over years of investing. But you shouldn't have kind of all of those stocks either, because they only go up about, say, 6 or 8% a year annually. So I do feel that you should have a sprinkle of growth or slash riskier stocks within your portfolio. And again, I suppose it all depends what age you are, your risk tolerance, and what your overall objectives are from investing. But yeah, in my opinion, I'm happy to hold both dividend and growth stocks.
All right, the question that I know many of our viewers are interesting to hear from you. Which stocks or sectors are you most excited about in the stock market this year? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, to be honest, Mo, I don't really focus too heavily on any individual sectors, as I do like to have a diverse overall portfolio. But I do really like the tech sector. Currently, I have 5 holdings that we can see on screen here. So I do feel that going forward, obviously, everything is moving a lot more towards tech every single month. So that is definitely one of the kind of sectors of interest for me personally. But again, in terms of potential, there's other sectors as well, such as clean energy. Now, I currently hold the iShares Global Clean Energy ETF. It's not doing too great at the moment. It's probably my worst performing stock. About 29 of the 31 stocks I hold are in the green. And of course, the ETF, the iShares Global Clean Energy, is one of the exceptions. It's in the red along with Tesla. But I do feel that there's a lot of potential in the clean energy sector as well. It's probably not as exciting as the tech sector, but I do feel going forward it has a lot of potential. And another sector that I like that might come as a surprise, and it's probably a boring sector I suppose, is the financial sector. And it's probably because I kind of do that in my 9 to 5 job I suppose as well. But at the moment, we can even see on screen here, we're up over 33%, which I'm quite happy with, because usually the financial sectors don't really move a whole lot. They're the kind of boring industry where it goes up a few percent here and there. But I think I bought in at a good relative price just at the start of the crash last year, or a few months into the crash. So I think it was kind of more than luck, more than anything, that we're up 33%. But yeah, again, it's another sector that a lot of people kind of overlook, but I like it myself.
Now, a question that we've been asking almost all of our guests here on Momentum Mondays show is, what is or are the finance and investing books or resources that you're most excited about, and is the one that perhaps you are a fan of and would recommend to our viewers? Let us know more about that.
Yeah, that's an interesting one as well, Mo, in terms of what favorite book I like to read in terms of investing. However, I'm probably ashamed to say it, but I don't actually read a whole lot of financial books. I kind of prefer just to watch videos, as I think it's a lot more time efficient and effective, and it kind of gets straight to the point. Instead of, let's say, wasting a week or two reading a big book, you can learn the same thing within an hour or even half an hour within an educational video. So that probably brings me to my favorite kind of YouTuber as such. And in terms of this sector anyway, it has to be surely Andrew Jick and Graham Stephan. They're definitely leading the way easily. They're the top 2 financial kind of gurus, if you wish, in this sector. So I definitely watch their videos as much as I can because they're both entertaining and they're insightful as well. So I'm pretty sure most of the viewers on this video know exactly who these two guys are. But if you don't, be sure to check them out.
Well, thanks, Brian. Do you have any final word of advice and wisdom for our viewers here on Momentum Channel that you would like to share with them?
Yeah, that's probably one of the most important questions of this video in terms of any advice for new investors that want to approach financial investing. I suppose the main thing really is there's no need to be buying courses off people. It's mostly all on the internet already. Fair enough if you'd like to speed up the process and have someone already collate a lot of information for you ready to go, but again, you can get it all for free. Like, everything is on the internet. So probably my biggest piece of advice is to not trust or to not take advice from anyone, including myself. And I state that in every video because I am not a financial advisor. These videos are more of an entertainment purposes or my own personal opinion on matters. So you should take everything that a majority of financial YouTubers say with a pinch of salt, because again, they're no brighter or no dumber than you, so you could know just as much as that person. So that's probably my main piece of advice really for anyone that wants to pursue financial education. Firstly, you need to take the time and patience to actually research stuff before diving in. So if you did have, let's say, €1,000 or dollars laying around to invest, you shouldn't just throw it into the market straight away. I think patience is key within this. Well, I know myself, I suppose I did the complete opposite to what I'm saying now, but the second I started investing, I kind of dived straight in. But you should definitely open a practice account if you do want to start investing first, because you can save a lot of money long term by actually practicing first. So yeah, I suppose the three main points, just to summarize it up, I suppose, is to start small, kind of keep it simple, as it's not rocket science at the end of the day. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel as such. You need to keep it as simple as you can. And thirdly, probably most important, is to actually take the time. So if you do want to get good at anything in life, let's say if you want to get strong, you go to the gym. So if you do want to get better at investing or anything financial related, you do need to take the time, and there's no kind of get rich quick scheme, and there's no quick way to do so. You really do have to put in the graft and time and effort if you do want to make it work.
Thank you so much, Brian, for joining the Momentum Mondays show. It's been a great pleasure having you on this show, and we look forward to following your journey on Brian Bowman Investing as well. Have a great rest of the day.
So I just want to say thanks very much to Mo for actually taking the time to invite me onto his channel. It really does mean a lot that he reached out to me, and he certainly is a great guy that takes a lot of pride in his work. So again, thanks very much to Mo, and I wish you all the best in the future.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode of Momentum Mondays. I hope it was valuable to you and you learned something from it. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from the video as well. We've added the contact link to our invited guest to the description of the video, so be sure to check them out. And lastly, if you haven't done that already, please subscribe to Momentum channel. Here on Momentum, we post weekly various videos about the stock market investing, stock analysis, financial planning, and finances. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time.